Hi guys, Adam McKola here. I'm with Mr. Stephen Howson. We're obviously not outside Old Trafford, but Manchester United have been beaten 3-1 by Crystal Palace. We lost against them last season. We've lost against them this season. Opening day of the campaign, starting with a defeat. It's almost like 2014 under Van Gaal again, innit?
Good shite, innit? I don't know where you even begin to pick that apart. I just had to go and try and find him because he got lost, and some guy grabbed us as I was walking back, just being like, what are we going to do? Yeah. We get Sancho. And I went, we'd be fucking free all today then, wouldn't it, if we'd have got Sancho? Because a right winger doesn't solve defensive errors. You know what I'm saying?
It don't. And I mean, everyone's going to want you to talk about things beyond the game today because our issues are probably indicative of problems further off the field. But let's just, for the first couple of minutes anyway, talk about the 90 minutes because, like you say, regardless of Sancho, regardless of the summer, we had enough in this squad to beat Crystal Palace today and we didn't. So why didn't we? Was it the manager's selection, tactics, fitness?
I think selection wasn't good. I don't think the selection, I think we said at the start of the game, selection's weird. Like Timbo, I mean, obviously me and you both love the guy, but strange one.
He wasn't the worst player today as well, but it was
No, it wasn't. And if anything, you know, what have Crystal Palace got, right? They're obviously going to sit in a low block. They're obviously got a couple of individual players that you're going to do one-to-one stuff against you, that they're going to be dangerous in those sort of areas. If you need someone that's going to be able to deal with that, what you need is Wan-Bissaka. So if he's not fit, like why are you not playing him? The organisation of the back line in its entirety wasn't acceptable. Paul Pogba had one of the worst games I've seen him have in a United shirt. I don't understand the selection of McTominay. McTominay's a guy that breaks things up. When you're looking to have less possession, that's where the likes of McTominay shine. When you're going to be playing possession, you want people that can actually make things happen in the final third. That's not what happened today. What we saw was United with, I think they had about 150 passes to United, or not even, maybe 130 passes to United's like 600. We absolutely destroyed the possession stats on them, but because we didn't have enough, Pogba weren't at the races today, so forget about him. And McTominay's never had that side of his game anyway. That's not what he's there. He's there for the off-the-ball sort of work rate and positioning and tackling and breaking things up when an opposition's putting you under pressure. So the team selection for me wasn't right today. Fred would have been a better option. Donny van der Beek would have been a better option. Fucking Juan Mata would have been a better option. Someone that's got a little bit of creativity and a little bit of quality in the final third would have been a better option. We were always going to camp just outside their box. We had double the amount of passes that they had in the game in their final third. That tells you the type of game that it was going to be, and that was always what the type of game was going to be.
It also tells you the type of way we can get hit. You know, route one, on the counter-attack, little bit of pace, and they do us every time. And when we bring our fullbacks forward, we've got our two centre-halves there, they just don't look like they can do it, do they? They don't look like Manchester United centre-halves at the moment.
Well, the standard for me is Rio and Vidic, and very, very closely behind that, Stam and maybe Ronnie Johnson.
But they don't even look like a Wes Brown level.
No, they don't even look like, Pallister and Bruce.
Yeah. And Wes Brown was amazing, by the way. But
oh, he was, yeah. People sleep on him, but he was rich man's John Terry. No, they don't look up to it, and he was a very expensive centre-half, Harry Maguire, and he was a good one to get, but he ain't Rio Ferdinand. And I know a load of people are going to be screaming out, but there has to be better footballers out there. I could see before we even signed Lindelof. I remember this. Me and Sam did a video back in the old studio in London when we was talking about us signing Lindelof, and I said I'm not sure about his one-to-one defending, and it's not really improved. Into the channels, he's really good. His reading of the game is fantastic in there. But when you run at him, when you commit him, I don't think he's of that level. I think Tuanzebe's a much better defender than
Dave's been calling for Tedder.
I think Tedden's rash. Like, I spoke to some of the boys in the team talking about Tedden, and they said, you know what, he's physical, he's strong, he does the right thing, he makes good decisions, but you can wind the guy up and you can get under his skin a little bit. I like that. I love a psycho.
Bring him in.
And maybe that's what we would have needed today, someone with a bit of fucking beat about him. But in the age of VAR, that's a fucking nightmare. And if he's gonna, he's giving penalties away in training is what the word is. So he's extremely young. There's a lot he needs to learn, and I think he'll get there. This is one of the most highly rated centre-halves coming out of the club in a long time. He might have more hype around him as a centre-half than Axel had. And Axel had a lot of hype coming out of the gate. It's good that United have promoted him. It's good that they are looking to the youth. But at the same time, I don't trust why they're going to the youth. And I think Ollie's have to go to the youth because what he's getting through the gate as first-team players, it's never been about the amount that gets spent. United get United tax added on to the price of players. It's been about how many people can you bring in for the first team. I've seen this window. Timo Werner's gone for a really good price. Thiago Silva went for free. Now, for me, I think he's going to flop in the Prem. I think he's
a 50-50 one.
Yeah, he could go either way. That's certainly not a certainty. But I tell you who is, fucking Thiago going to Liverpool for 30-odd million euros is an absolute bargain and someone who definitely improves them. I'm worried about that. They've just got Jota in. I'm worried about that because...
But then if we go in for Jota, it's 70 million. 60 million,
actually, yeah, maybe, yeah. It might be. You're right. It might be.
And I don't want to make excuses for them because that shouldn't stop you being able to do your business. Like, now we're getting to off-the-pitch stuff. Like, with Jadon Sancho, Ollie wanted him last year. Yeah, so, you lot have had 18 months, 19 months, 20 months to be doing this deal, and you haven't done it.
No, and you're going to dick around until the 4th of October, probably tell them that they're having it, and get told to fucking sling it.
Like, people, like, we did that little reenactment of it. But that's literally how it feels and how it will go. Like, it's going to get close to the deadline. They're going to want more money. And it's, regardless of Sancho, this whole window and this whole summer hasn't been the best from the club. And I think that will feed down little, like in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference yesterday, he was kind of sending a message to the players that there might not have been signings, but we still can improve in other ways. And it was like, is he noticing that there's a little bit of...
Did you see Ed Woodward's notes?
Has he been on the sniff again?
No. Ed Woodward put a programme note out today, which I don't know how to do printing programmes, so no fucking fan.
I think they send them out for free to the season ticket holders.
Okay.
To your email, not your letterbox.
Cheers. Well, anyway, there's notes out in the programme saying, basically, a load of fucking waffle, trying to defend his position on not signing people. Like I said, it's not about the money, Ed. Are you telling me that you've got this database of people worldwide? I understand at the very, very top, Manchester United, you're looking at maybe, realistically, under 10 players that are going to improve. Do you know what? That's bollocks, actually. There's definitely more than 10 players who could play right wing better than Dan James.
What you're trying to say is, out of the transfer market, ours is a lot smaller because of the calibre of player we're going to go for.
Let's say you want Jadon Sancho level players. There ain't many of them in the world. There's not got 5 at Sparta Prague that are that level, but there are players that could be that you've got players who are that good spread out across the world that haven't had their chance yet. Go fucking find them. I understand that what they're doing with the youth team is great, but my worry is that they're doing it for ulterior motives. They're doing it because they don't want to spend more. And do you know what? I kind of get it. And at some point, those Neymar, Mbappe, Sancho transfer fees, they're unsustainable for a club. But you can't just suddenly, in the middle of like trying to compete, go, oh, we're not playing that game. You made this game. We've broken that record more time than any other club in England. You can't just be like, well, we're not.
And Ed Woodward can't come out and say, I don't like, our fans are negative and they're upset and they're moaning and that. We weren't the ones that went on national television and said we can do things no other clubs can do. We weren't the one.
Keep talking about the size of the club. Keep talking that the debt isn't affecting our ability to do business. The only way that you show that is you prove that. There's a pattern. Jose Mourinho got defunded when he got into the Champions League. We came second and everyone went, push. And they went, here's Lee Grant. And here's a 19-year-old fullback you're all going to have to Google. And everyone went, what the fuck? Oh, okay, all right, maybe. And then Jose seen his ass, wheels fell off, and we bring a new guy in. You back the new guy initially. He had a couple of signings that he wanted. He gets Bruno Fernandes, and then he goes, oh, I got top 4. And he go, cool story. There's one signing.
Come back and see us when you're out of the top 4.
Yeah. Well, and we'll get rid of you, and we'll bring somebody else in and start the cycle again. It's short-termism. All right, some of them signings that we've just got, those 16, 17-year-old lads from Spain and that, they're long-term signings, and they've been 50-50, which is a good success rate for the price. That's what Chong, Fosu Mensah, Pogba to a certain extent was, Nishan Burkhardt was. Yeah, all of those players were players that we paid money for at 16, 17, and that's a great thing for Manchester United because we can bring through some right players in that sort of mould. But you can't neglect the first team. United are part of this gravy train of teams that are the ones that spend elite level money. But the thing is, though, we say this, but there's right good players out there. Thomas Partey, a really small buyout clause, well valued for money. Even Sal Niguez, you might get him for 70, 80 million. He's worth it. I was trying to make a point on a video I did on my channel the other day, talking about if you invest in players, it's like investing in property in that you never lose money on them because the transfer market is continually rising. If you'd have bought a property 10 years ago, it's worth way more than
depending
what you
on the
bought it
age
for.
of the player, obviously.
Yeah, but the bargain exists now.
Yeah.
If you try and buy Jadon Sancho today, apart from his contract depreciating, he will be worth more in 3 years. Significantly more.
Yeah.
The transfer market is going bump, bump, bump every single year.
Especially
so if you don't want to play 120 euros for him now, good luck trying to find 150 for him next year. You might as well bite the bullet, go strong, a bit like Chelsea have done this year where they've gone, we're fucking having it, lads, we're getting back in the mix. That's what you're going to have to do. And I get that it's unsustainable to think that you can sustain that over, if you do that for 5 years, you spent £1 billion. And that isn't doable, I don't think.
It would have been if they hadn't taken $1.5 billion out in 15 years.
It would have been, yeah.
Fucking pricks.
The transfer market needs to shrink again because it's unsustainable and it's unrealistic at the moment. You know, is Jadon Sancho worth it? When you see some of the figures other players have gone for, especially like João Felix, why is that not talked about? Yeah, he is. But in the grand scheme of things, 120 million, that's so many players that you could buy for the academy and wait. You know, and there's so much to sort out. There's so much to sort out and fix from that match today. And there's so much to sort out and fix from us as a club. No, this issue's never gone away. The director of football thing, I expect that. We're going to do briefing bingo tomorrow. Yeah. See how many players we're linked to in the morning. See what the crack is about getting a director of football. See what they're going to say about fucking banging a baby wipe and a couch around that stadium. Because they're going to throw it all out tomorrow just to detract from the absolute shit show that we're seeing in the fucking on the pitch.
Cheers, Steve. You really cheer me up.